Hi everyone. Before going to discuss the topic, of course we are going to discuss grammar topic, and before going to discuss the topic, before going to announce the topic, let us example. Suppose in the class teacher called you and there was a conversation, and after the conversation during the interval one of your friends came and asked you, what did the teacher say? So one of the friends came and asked you, what did the teacher say? You and the teacher spoke each other. Now you have two choices. You have two possible ways of conveying that message. The conversation you had with the teacher, you have two possible ways to communicate to your friend. Two possible ways. One is what teacher said. Another one is conveying the message, not quoting exactly our words. If you say, see, teacher asked me, were you late to school yesterday? Teacher asked me, were you late to school yesterday? Let's change the color. Here, were you late to school yesterday? Are the exact words of the speaker. Here, the speaker is a teacher. So you quoted exact words. You have other possibility to convey the same message. Teacher asked me if I had been late to school the previous day. You did not quote the exact words of the speaker. You did not quote the exact words of the speaker, but you just conveyed the message and idea. And let's go for the final example. One more and final example. On your way to school, you are coming to school. On your way to school, you heard Miss Joe and Jerry. They were talking. And Miss Joe said to Jerry, I am not coming to school. Miss Joe said to Jerry, I am not coming to school. That you heard it. While you were coming to school, you heard that. Who was speaking? Miss Joe and Jerry. And during the class, teacher asked about Miss Joe. Teacher asked about Miss Joe. And you heard what Miss Joe said. Now you have two possible ways to tell teacher. First thing is what Miss Joe said to Jerry, exact words of Miss Joe. And second, conveying the message or idea of Miss Joe, rather quoting exact words of her. Suppose you want to say exact words of Miss Joe, then teacher, Miss Joe said to Jerry, I am not coming to school. So you told the teacher. What you told the teacher? Miss Joe said to Jerry, I am not coming to school. So you just quoted her words exactly. There is other possibility for you to express. What is the other possibility? Teacher, Miss Joe told Jerry that he was not coming to school. Teacher, Miss Joe told Jerry that he was not coming to school. Here you did not quote the exact words of Miss Joe. Miss Joe exact words are these, but you did not quote the exact words, but you conveyed the message and idea of Miss Joe. So you have two possibilities here to express someone's words or your words. You have two possible ways to express your words or somebody's words to someone. Two possibilities. Let us see what are the two possibilities. If you just quote the exact words of the speaker, or exact words of the somebody, or exact words of yours to someone, exact words of yours, or exact words of somebody to someone, then it is called direct speech. Then we call it direct speech. Let's change the color again. So we call direct speech. Exact words. And you don't quote the exact words, but you convey the message or idea of the speaker. If you just quote, if you just convey the message or idea of the speaker without quoting exact words, then we call it indirect speech or reported speech. So we can call it indirect speech or reported speech. So here Miss Jo said to Jerry, I am not coming to school is direct speech. Miss Jo told Jerry that he was not coming to school is indirect speech. So you have two possible ways of communicating your words or somebody's words to someone, either quoting exactly or conveying the message. If you quote exactly, it is called a direct speech, or conveying the message or idea, it is called indirect speech. So today's topic what we are going to discuss is direct and indirect speech. Of course, quoting exact words of somebody or yours is easy. Just quote the exact words. But changing those exact words into indirect speech, changing those exact words, which means you are not quoting exact words, you are just conveying the message or idea, we need to practice. How should I change this particular sentence into indirect speech? Choice is yours. Always you can use a direct speech. Okay, no problem, you can use a direct speech. Even you can use indirect speech if you want, you can use indirect speech. So that is the reason we are learning direct to indirect. We are learning to change sentences from direct speech to indirect speech. What is the reason? You need to know either you can use a direct speech or you can use indirect speech. Choice is yours. Suppose you take some books, My Greatest Expectations. And this entire novel is an indirect speech. And take for example, Hound of Baskerville. And this entire novel is a direct speech. So, Hound of Baskerville, Arthur Conan Doyle wanted to write in direct speech. And Dickinson, My Greatest Expectations, thought of writing in indirect speech. They chose different paths. One direct speech, another one direct. But both convey what they want to convey. They conveyed what they want to convey. Right. So we are going to learn now direct and indirect speech, and that too from basic to advanced. So from basic to advanced, we are going to learn changing sentences from direct to indirect speech. So while changing direct to indirect speech, we need to know kinds of sentences first. Without knowledge, proper knowledge of kinds of sentences, we can't change sentences from direct speech to indirect speech. So before going to start how to change sentences from direct to indirect, let us discuss kinds of sentences first. We have been learning before going to discuss the kinds of sentences, let us go with terms to be known in direct and indirect speech. What are the terms supposed to be known? The three terms you need to know: reporting class, reporting verb, reported class. So class is nothing but sentence. We can say reporting sentence, reporting class, reported class, or reporting sentence. So what is a reporting sentence? The words which are not in inverted commas, the sentence which is not in inverted commas, is called a reporting sentence. Reporting sentence. Or reporting class. And the verb in reporting class is called reporting verb. Sentence which is not in inverted commas, sentence which is not in inverted commas is called reporting clause. The verb in the reporting clause or the reporting sentence is called a reporting verb. The words which are in inverted commas, called reported sentence or clause. So reported sentence or reported clause. So three terms we supposed to know: reporting clause, reporting verb, reported clause. The sentence which is not in inverted commas is reporting sentence or reporting clause. The verb in reporting clause or reporting sentence is called reporting verb. And the sentence which is in inverted commas is called reported sentence or reporting clause. And let's look at the second one. The sentence which is not in inverted commas. The sentence which is not in inverted commas, Joe said. This is reporting clause. Reporting clause. I am not coming to school. Reported clause. Reported. Reporting, reported. And the verb, reporting verb. And the verb, reporting verb. You are right, he said, it feels strange. You are right, it feels strange. Inverted commas. So this is reported clause. Reported clause. He said reporting clause. Reporting clause. Said reporting verb. Said is a reporting verb. So these are the three terms we supposed to know. And when it comes to reporting clause, this reporting clause can be used in before the reported clause, between the reported clause, after the reported clause. Reporting clause can be used. Reporting clause. This is reporting clause. The words which are not inverted commas, the sentence which is not inverted commas is called reporting clause or reporting sentence. The words which are in inverted commas, is called reported clause or reported sentence. This reporting clause you can place before the reported sentence or reported clause. You can keep or place between reported clause, or you can place at the end or after the reported clause. So you have three possible ways of keeping reporting clause: beginning, middle, at the end. Here we need to note a thing. Look at the sentence here. Ram said, Ram. He said, he. When reporting clause comes in the beginning, there will be no problem with these things. What I mean is, Ram is a proper noun. He is a pronoun. Whether it is a proper noun and the pronoun, we just follow, next we write a verb. Whether it is when reporting clause in the beginning, we can use reporting verb always after a proper noun and a pronoun. But whereas when we use this reporting clause in middle or at the end, we need to be very careful. When we use reporting clause in middle or at the end, we need to be very, very careful. What is that? If it is a proper noun, that reporting verb, you can place after or before. So we can say, John said, or said John. Both ways you can say. John said or said John. So this reporting verb you can place after the proper noun or before the proper noun. But when it comes to pronoun, there is only one possibility, that reporting verb has to be placed after the pronoun. So he said. Said he. Said he is wrong. We don't use a said he. He said. Even at the end, the same rule. Elizabeth complained. First possibility. Complained Elizabeth. Both ways you can express. But when it comes to pronoun, there is only one possibility, that this reporting verb has to come after pronoun. So you need to be very careful while writing, when you write a reporting clause in between or at the end. Of course, in the beginning we don't have any such issues, because we always go with the subject, whether it is a pronoun or a proper noun. We just keep in the beginning, though we won't get any problem when we write in the beginning. When we write before the reported clause. But when you write reporting clause between the reported clause or after the reported clause, then there comes the problem. So you need to be very careful. Proper noun, it can be before the reporting clause or after the reporting verb or after the reporting verb. But when it comes to pronoun, we need to always place pronoun before a reporting verb. Before reporting verb, we need to place. So now we are going back again. As I mentioned earlier, while changing from direct to indirect, we need to be more careful. We need to know, we need to have knowledge of kinds of sentences. So there are 5 kinds of sentences. Declarative or assertive, open interrogative, closed interrogative, imperative, and exclamative. Declarative or assertive, we call it declarative or assertive. We have been learning this. We have been learning third class or fourth class. We have been learning about kinds of sentences. Declarative or assertive, open interrogative, closed interrogative, imperative, or exclamative. Only problem for maybe first time you are listening, what is this open interrogative and closed interrogative? So when we discuss, when the topic comes regarding open interrogative and closed interrogative, and first we go with the declarative or assertive sentence. What is a declarative sentence? Declarative sentences are simple sentences or statements. They always end with the full stop. And they always begin with the subject. They always begin with the subject or they always begin with the subject or object, whatever it is. So they are simple statements, simple sentences. Mostly they begin with the subject and object. Let us take the examples. Tomorrow I will go to the store. Simple sentence, a statement. Yesterday I left the school early, a statement. I told her to wear the blue skirt. We walked to the mall together. These are the simple statements. So the statements are in English called declarative sentences. The statements are always called declarative sentence. They always should have a subject and object. Subject or object. And the second one is open interrogative sentence. Traditionally this open interrogative sentence, we call it as WH questions. WH questions. But I don't prefer to call WH questions. The reason is simple. How is not a WH question? How is not a WH question? So we are confusing just using the word WH question. Of course, the remaining all starts with the WH, whereas this how does it start with the WH. So I don't prefer to call it WH questions. Rather, I prefer to call it open interrogative sentences. So why should we call them open interrogative sentence? Interrogative means question. That's sure. We know it. Interrogative means question. And here, when I say open interrogative, the question answer is open to person. It is not fixed answer. Suppose let us take, where can we go? Suppose if I ask you, where can we go? You may say movie. If I ask someone, where can we go? He says market or picnic or somebody and something else. So the answer is not fixed. It is open to person to person. That's the reason when we ask these kind of questions, we call them open interrogative. So you understood now why I call them open interrogative. Interrogative is a question. Interrogative means question. I call this open interrogative instead of a traditional way of calling WH questions. The reason is how is not a WH word. So I just delete that and then go with the open interrogative sentence. The answer is open to everyone. And then we need to know open interrogative sentences begins with a question word. It's an interrogative sentence, begins with a question word. Begins with a question word. What are the question words? There are total 9 question words. Who, whom, whose, which, what, where, when, why, how. These are the 9 question words. So open interrogative always begins with the question word. And let us just go with interrogative. What is interrogative? Interrogative, what is the form of interrogative sentence? Just go, don't worry about this open interrogative, just go with interrogative sentence. What is the form of interrogative sentence? It's just opposite to declarative sentence. See, when it comes to the declarative sentence, there comes a subject and then sometimes a helping verb and a main verb and object or complement. So subject, helping verb, main verb, object or complement. And this subject sometimes noun or pronoun, or maybe noun phrase, mostly noun phrase. So we get here subject and helping verb and main verb, object or complement. An interrogative sentence is inversion. The word is called inversion. Inversion. What is this inversion? Inversion means helping verb and subject, they interchange. Helping verb and subject, they interchange, and that is called inversion. Now, helping verb should come first and then subject. Helping verb should come first and then subject. This is called inversion. Interrogative sentence follows inversion. Interrogative sentence follows inversion. Then what about open interrogative sentence? Interrogative sentence, but begins with a question word, that's all. This supposed to be there. Helping verb plus subject supposed to be there. It's interrogative. The form of interrogative is nothing but inversion supposed to be there. What is the form of interrogative sentence? What kind of interrogative sentence? Say open interrogative or closed interrogative. An interrogative sentence, the form of interrogative sentence is always there supposed to be an inversion. What is inversion? Helping verb should come before the subject. That is called inversion. And here, if it is an open interrogative, then what must be done? We need to add a question word. That's all. There must be a question word. There must be inversion. So what is an open interrogative? There must be a question word. There must be inversion. If there is only question word and no inversion, it is not called interrogative sentence. When I went to the market, I saw an accident. When I went to the market, I saw an accident. Here, question word there is a question word. But what is missing? Inversion is missing. Only subject comes after the question word, whereas there is no helping verb. So there is no inversion. Inversion means there must be a helping verb and then subject. Then we call it closed interrogative, and this is not a closed interrogative. Sorry, open interrogative. This is not an open interrogative. Because there is a question word but no inversion. There must be question word and inversion. There is another possibility. Sometimes there comes a question word and directly the verb comes. But not the subject. If question word and subject comes again, it will be an assertive or declarative sentence. Be careful of that. When there is a question word and a verb, not subject, then this is another way of interrogative sentence, open interrogative sentences. Let's see the last one. Who wrote the book? Who, question word, wrote is verb. So, first thing is, interrogative means inversion supposed to be there. What is the inversion? Helping verb should come before the subject. Okay? If it is an open interrogative, the sentence has to start with question word. What are the question words? 9 question words. Starts with a question word. Open interrogative sentence starts with a question word. And then there is an inversion. And at the end, question mark must be there. And the end, question mark must be there. These are open interrogative sentences. Now move to the closed interrogative sentence. Traditionally, this is called yes or no questions. Yes or no questions. Yes or no questions. Traditionally we call, but I prefer to call them closed interrogative sentences. Why I should say closed interrogative? The reason is the answer is closed. When I ask a question, when I ask these questions, you have no choice except to say either yes or no. Do you go to the movie yesterday? Your possible is yes or no, that's it. So your answer is closed. Whereas in open interrogative sentence, the answer is not closed. It's open to everyone. Whatever you like, you can answer. But whereas you have no possibility here, you have only have 2 possibilities here. Either you should say yes or no. And interrogative, we know it. What is an interrogative? Inversion supposed to be there. Then what is a closed interrogative? These closed interrogatives always begin with the helping verb. Always begins with helping verbs. What are the helping verbs? Let us discuss. Or let us see what are the helping verbs. Be forms, do forms, have forms, modals. And be careful with the spelling modal. M-O-D-A-L, not D-E-L. That is M-O-D-E-L, model 1, model 2, model 3, model 3, model 4 like. But here grammar, grammatical in grammar, M-O-D-A-L. So what are these? Be forms, present, past. Present, past. Present be forms. Am, is, are. Am, is, are. Past was verb. Am, is, are. Present, past was verb. Do forms, do or does. And did. Have forms, have or has. Present, past had. Modals will, shall, will, past would. shall present, should past, can, could, may, might. May, might. These are the modals. So we have four helping verbs, four types of helping verbs: be forms, do forms, have forms, modals. When someone asks what are the helping verbs, normally we start saying am, is, are, was, were, do, does, did, have, has, had. No, just go with this way. There are four types of helping verbs: be forms, do forms, have forms, modals. Be forms, do forms, have forms, modals. What are the be forms? Present be forms, am, is, are. Past be forms, was, were. What are the do forms? Present do forms, do, does. What is the present do form? Past do form, did. Present have forms, have or has. Past had. Modals: will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might. These are helping verbs. And there are some more helping verbs used to, ought to, need to, dare. All these are also comes under helping verb. But we can't divide them into present or past. So, closed interrogative sentence. Inversion is nothing but helping verb and subject. So, helping verb should come before the subject and it starts with the helping verb. And the answer is that it is your answer must be closed. You need to say either yes or no. And always ends with the question mark. Will you? Are you? Will you play violin? You will play violin. Will you play violin? You will play violin. You will play violin is a declarative sentence. Will you play violin is closed interrogative because there is inversion and there is no question word. If there is a question word, suppose if I say, I place when. If I just place question word here when, then the sentence when will you play violin is an open interrogative sentence. It's an open interrogative sentence. So this is third closed interrogative sentence. Next, imperative sentences. What are these imperative sentences? These imperative sentences begins with the verb or please or don't plus verb, don't plus verb, ever or never plus verb. Get me some water. Get is a verb. It's an imperative sentence. So imperative sentence begins with verb. They begin with verb. Please. Don't plus verb. Ever, never plus verb. Don't leave. Be careful with the word don't plus verb. Let us see now. Do is a helping verb. Do is a helping verb. Suppose if I don't use a verb immediately, if I just go with this way, don't you leave that cat alone. Don't you leave that cat alone. That cat alone is a closed interrogative sentence because there came you, subject, after helping verb. If there is no you and comes directly verb, then it is imperative sentence. Don't plus verb. When you use even please, when you use a please, that kind of sentence is also called imperative sentence. Ever, never also. For example, let's take for a never. Never do that. Never do that again. Never do that again. Never do that again. It's an imperative sentence. So there are four possibilities for imperative sentence. They begin with verb or please or don't plus verb, ever, never plus verb. And the last one, exclamatory sentences. What are these exclamatory sentences? These exclamatory sentences begins with the what and followed by a or an. There are only two possible ways regarding exclamatory sentence. They either begin with what or how. Again, be careful. What is a question word? How is a question word? But what follows next is very important. If how and there is an inversion, if how there is an inversion, it is called open interrogative. Let us take an example. How good he is. How good is he? I'm not punctuating because I just want to make it clear. How good he is. How good is he? See, this how comes in exclamatory sentence. How even comes in open interrogative sentence. Now, it doesn't mean whenever we get a question word it is an open interrogative. I told you there must be an inversion. Inverted interrogative means there must be an inversion. If there is no inversion, it is not called interrogative sentence. And if there is a question word, we call it. Now look at the first sentence. How good he is. How good is he? Here, how good is adjective. How good is adjective here. As I said, how adjective plus adverb. But what must not be there? Inversion should not be there. If there is inversion, then it is called open interrogative sentence. How good he is. There is no inversion. What is inversion? What is inversion? Helping verb should come before the subject. Helping verb should come before the subject. Here, helping verb came after the subject, so it is called exclamatory sentence. Whereas the second one, how good is he, is interrogative sentence. See, placing, if you change the place of a word, you are changing the form of the sentence. At the same time, meaning, how good he is exclaiming. How good is he? Questioning. How good he is? Exclamation. How good is he? Questioning. See? The meaning and everything changes if you just misplace the words. Suppose you thought of writing exclamatory sentence, you thought of telling exclamatory sentence, and simply you told, how good is he? It's wrong. So, be mindful and be careful about this. Helping verb comes after, and then it's supposed to begin with how. Adjective and adverb must be there. Adjective or adverb must be there. And then no inversion. Then we call it an exclamatory sentence. When it comes to what? A or an, and they ends with exclamation. The words which begin with interjections, they are not exclamatory sentences. We are using interjection. For example, alas, I lost the match. Alas, I lost the match. It is interjection. So we don't call alas, I lost the match is a exclamatory sentence. No. Alas is interjection. And we used declarative sentence, I lost the match. And then that is the reason we place exclamation mark with the word interjection rather than at the end of the sentence. So these are called interjections, so we don't call them exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence has to begin with what or how, and there should not be an inversion. When it comes to what, there must be an or a or an. When it comes to the adjective how, there must be adjective or adverb without inversion. What a stupid idea. How slowly you walk. What a beautiful scene it is. What a beautiful scene it is. So these are exclamatory sentences. Let us identify the kinds of sentences. Just a practice like, you drive me crazy. You drive me crazy. Being there is an exclamation mark. So we need to make it as a exclamatory sentence. If there is no exclamation mark full stop, then we call it as a declarative sentence or assertive sentence. Charan was hired at the grocery store in June. It's a statement and begin with noun or pronoun or subject. Then we call it as declarative sentence. Third one. Do you know how to fix this oven? Do you know? Do you. You is a subject. Do is helping. So the sentence begins with a helping verb and there is a question mark here, and this is called closed interrogative sentence. Closed interrogative sentence. What is wrong with Mrs. Stewart? What is wrong? Is question word and there came helping verb and here is a question mark. Steve is a subject there and then it is called open interrogative sentence. Open interrogative sentence. Pick some fresh flowers for the wash. Pick some fresh flowers for the wash. Pick. Pick is a verb. If a sentence begins with a verb, it is called imperative sentence. So this is an imperative sentence. Let us see some more. Abhi and Louis are giving cookies to the children. Statement. Abhi and Louis. Subject. Noun phrase. If the sentence begins with a noun phrase or a subject, then it's called declarative or assertive sentence. What will you gain by winning all the awards? What? Question word. It doesn't mean when there is a question word, it's always an interrogative sentence. We need to see there is an inversion. What will you? Inversion there. So it is called open interrogative sentence. What a lovely flower. What followed a. So it is a exclamatory sentence. Are you sure that you want to spend the money on the toy? Are you sure? Are you? Inversion. And it begins with helping verb. There is no question word. So we call it as a closed interrogative sentence. Don't let her in. Don't is a helping verb. But see whether there is inversion or not. If there is inversion, it is closed interrogative. If there is no inversion, we need to consider it as an imperative sentence. Let. Let is a verb. What are the three forms for let? Let, let, let. So, it's a verb and it is imperative sentence. It's imperative sentence. So these are the 5 kinds of sentences we have in English. In the next video, we just learn how to change direct to indirect, how to change sentences, whether it is a declarative, open interrogative, closed interrogative, imperative or exclamatory. 5 kinds of sentences: declarative or assertive, open interrogative, closed interrogative, imperative or exclamatory, whatever kind of the sentence it is. How do we change from direct to indirect? That we are going to see it in next video.